Goldtown Nickelodeon Theater to see the movie Evergreen, The Road to Legalization in Washington.
Hi guys.
How's it going?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Good. This is awesome.
I know.
And hopefully the film also informs voters a little better about how they're going to decide tomorrow. So pretty excited.
You know, I had a little hesitancy on it, only because I don't want to use the theater as a political platform unless it's a rental and it's somebody else's thing. But you know, I vetted it out, and it seems like it's just sort of a both sides, even-keeled exposition of what Washington went to.
Even better.
So
that's what makes it interesting is like you listen to what people say on both sides of it, and actually like can't. I mean, it makes sense on all sides of it, so that's what makes it so interesting. I see a lot of people that I think probably wouldn't go vote that are probably deciding on voting, which is interesting to see. I think maybe people felt maybe hopeless in politics for a while, and maybe especially people from my age group almost feel powerless, like you don't really have any say, and there's this whole other generation making decisions for us. And I feel like maybe this movement could be part of the idea that maybe we are the ones actually involved now, that we are the adults of society, and you know, we do have some say.
Well, this last year has been quite a ride. We've all built up to this, so tensions are running high tonight, and so I'm just going to sit back and try to enjoy myself, watch this movie with my friends, and get a good night's rest, and wake up tomorrow and get moving. So, yeah.
I'm here in Douglas, Alaska. You can see the view of Juneau from over my shoulder over here. This is where I live. It's a little shack on the beach. Been renting it for a few years now, and this is kind of where I've transformed myself quite a bit, and I've done a lot of personal healing here. The weather's pretty wild here. I don't know what we hit last night, but it's not uncommon right here on this lot to get up to 100 miles an hour. So sorting out tarps, making sure the vintage motorcycles are protected. That's a pretty big deal, you know. So that's Alaskan life does have its challenges, you know. There's no such thing as temporary covering around here. Nothing will last. This needs to be taken care of, but when you're busy doing other things like starting a marijuana production business, it gets a little hard to maintain some of these things sometimes. So I've learned the hard way. What it's not strapped down becomes your neighbor's, I'm pretty sure, is kind of the way it goes here. So I have my personal garden in here, which I have to check on as well. That's where a lot of my own personal research goes into, and experimenting with new types that I'm interested in trying out. So I usually start out with making sure nothing's too light or too dry. I have to check on that. That can't get neglected. You know, I still have my own life as well that I'm living on top of trying to start this business. And these are all seeds I started that I actually got down on the West Coast when I was there, and smuggled them back up. But you do what you have to do to get your genetics, I guess. Some of these are unfeminized, so they're going to be males, which are no good. There's no flower on a male. So you start out with 40, you end up with 24. There's a few different varieties down here. I usually just start by also checking to make sure that these aren't too dry. They have to be perked up right. If they go dry or limp, they're pretty much done. And I do run a dehumidifier in there. Even though it's a rainforest, it still has to be at 50% in that room, so things can dry out pretty quick. That's really my biggest fear, and it's happened before. I'll walk in and bottom leaves are drooped down, and you know, once that damage happens, you really can't come back from it. And then I move on to check the other room. So this room here is the flower room, and this is going to be where the buds and the usable medicinal part of the plant is going to be produced. As you can see here, they look quite a bit different. They have different flowers. These flowers are going to have the resins on them, and the resins are what's really going to have its medicinal effect. I believe that the whole plant is actually really part of that healing process. This one here got water damage, and so this is what happens when you fail to water a plant This one's closest to my fan. This is a very small space, so when you're working in a small space, it's hard to get those consistent temperatures. So this is what happens when you neglect a plant right here for just that one time. As you can see, none of these leaves ever came back. This happened a few weeks ago. If this was 5,000 square feet, that's a $200,000 harvest right there that our business just lost. That could put us under. That could completely shut us down. To be able to produce your own medicine out of this plant takes a lot of work. I mean, just setting up one of these rooms alone. So when you're dealing with the current medical laws now, they don't really allow someone to buy from someone like me who knows how to do it and put all the energy into setting this up. So if you imagine, like, not everybody wants to farm their own vegetables. That's kind of how I see it. Not everybody should. You know, we need people that are good at those trades to do that, and support those people. And that's how, you know, the intricate workings of the community should be. So I think with the Proposition 2, that could change the people's ability to just go and obtain cannabis without having to set up a huge room like this with all these wires. Yeah. All right. It's election day, so it's a pretty eventful day for me as far as just the emotion level of everything. Keep spreading the word, man. I appreciate it.
Get him out the boat.
That's right.
Done 80 texts today.
That's right. Excellent. That's awesome that he's out there. It's pouring out too, so for him to be out there like that says a lot. I mean, today you can definitely see a lot of voters out and about. You know, there's definitely that excitement in the air. So I think that you kind of get that vibe around town right now. I'm actually a little nervous because I've actually never voted in my life. So it's kind of a big deal to vote. But I really do actually, but my heart is in the movement. I believe in it, and I believe it's the right thing for residents of Alaska. And I've never been one to participate in the system. I've really found a way around it through riding a BMX bike and you know, doing things like that, and never really focused on any money. And but I do believe actually now that maybe there is a possibility of a change. I want to be more involved with the community that way, and I know that this is a big change in the community, so I think it's maybe time to vote for the first time. Oh, good. There you go. Giano Barrett. All right. I just voted for the first time ever in my life at 32 years old. Actually feels pretty good. At least now I know if it's a close call that I did my part. Yeah, I feel good. I was really nervous in there, actually. I didn't think I would be, but I realize now how much of a big deal it was to me just to vote. You know, the issue aside, just voting was a big deal to me. So I guess that's life in Alaska. It makes you kind of do those kind of things. You know, you really see the bigger picture and what's really going on. So yeah, it feels good. You know, you're directly affected by these issues here. You're really close to your neighbors, and so, you know, when I lived in a big city, those things didn't really mean much to me, and I felt kind of hopeless. So down in the lower 48, so I feel like living here has made that difference, and which is why I want to be so involved in the community here. It directly affects me. So feels good. I actually feel really good. Yeah. I think my hands were almost shaking in there. Never done anything like that. I don't know. I've always been just really stayed away from being involved in politics. I do feel like this issue is going to push marijuana in the right direction for people, so that's a big deal. What's happening, bud?
You voted?
I did.
First time?
First time in my life.
You're a new man.
Yep.
I don't think I'm going to ask what you voted for. I'll let you keep that to yourself.
Just only on the one issue. So the lady said she smelt me. She said, "Oh, I know what you're here for."
Good. Actually, it's a really complex issue, so I wouldn't make any assumptions.
I just said, "Absolutely," and she gave me my ballot, and at that point, I was kind of like shaking a little bit. I think, like, oh man, is this something I really want to do? I've never participated before in this,
Well, I've been trying to read on the internet of like results and things. There's not much going on right now. Do you remember me talking about a medical patient who is learning about juicing? Mm-hmm. She can't use cannabis because she can't afford to grow it. She also gets drug tested. She was going to come over and talk to us about, when we go into business, what will she need from a medical side? That way we'll know what to provide her, like for her and patients like her.
Sure. So. What was your name one more time? Jeannie, that's right, okay. What was your name again one more time?
Jeannie. What's his name again? Giano.
And yeah, Giano. Yeah, we're here at the house meeting with Jeannie tonight.
I've called around trying to find where to even get any cannabis, and I hit a dead end every time. I've had a very physical job since I was 21. I've always been a driver, lifting heavy things.
So you went into the physician, and what did he give you the prescription for? What were your
fibromyalgia,
okay.
Muscle soreness, some joint achiness, pain. And when you spend almost 30 years in the freight business, you need your legs, you need your arms. I've been reading a lot about marijuana and cannabis, and I wanted this benefits and got the card to help cure the ailments, or help them at least, and to just hit a dead end. So I'm actually wondering what everybody else does that has these cards. I've been a little frustrated over it. I couldn't go to Colorado and bring it here.
Right.
Couldn't go to Washington, bring it here.
Yeah.
So.
Have you ever tried growing it yourself or anything like that, or is it kind of out of the question for what you're willing to go through to?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Especially I don't have the room for it. I don't have the equipment for it.
Our hope is that we can get that Charlotte's Web strain or something that's just CBD and try to grow that. There's lots of ways to medicate with cannabis outside of getting high. More specifically is trying to grow a plant that has the properties of a CBD rather than the properties of THC, which would get you high, essentially. I mean, it wouldn't sell on the black market to have one that doesn't get people high. But if there's patients like you and medical people or, that need it, then that would be the avenue to do it. Then you wouldn't have to grow.
I also drive.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to
I can't have THC.
Yep, sure.
But I could have stuff that had CBD in it, enough CBD and no THC where I could actually still drive and pass a drug test. But I can't find that either.
Sure. CBD is just, it's really just great for pain in general. My brother and I deal with all the time is like people, they're aware that what we're doing, when they're aware that we grow, and they're aware of the products that we make for ourselves, and it's been hard not to give these things to everyone that we talk to. Even I'll ride the bus and it's like I'll be overhearing conversations where people are in all this pain, and then they're talking about all this stuff they're going through, and it's like, in my pocket I have this chocolate in my pocket that I've been carrying around all day with me, and it's like, if I could just give them that chocolate bar and say, here, try that, but you can't even do that. It's just people are really afraid to do that. Meeting and talking to people like Jeannie helps us really remember why we've been at it like we have, and why the laws here have to change, and why we produce the quality and the products that we do as well. So it's frustrating right now to see people go through situations like yours.
It is frustrating,
and not get
especially when
relief.
The pharmaceutical companies would rather give you OxyContin or Vicodin or anything else. It's going to do way more long-term damage than a plant.
Yeah.
Well, I think their business is a great idea, and I really like James's his idea about doing everything and combining it with organic nutrients, ingredients. I think that's the way to do it.
Our angle is going to be high quality, good for your body type of stuff.
That's a good thing.
So it's not like gummy bears sprayed with cannabis. One great thing that we've learned today is Jeannie really pointed out the things that we need to hone in on as far as what the medical community needs. So now we have a really good idea on what type of products and medicinal uses that we can start striving for.
The polls close in 2 hours, 8 o'clock. So if this passes, what's it going to do for you guys?
Well, tomorrow we wake up with jobs.
If we wake up tomorrow and the vote's a yes, we're probably going to have a lot of phone calls to make.
Brothers don't shake hands.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you've done. This is awesome. Yeah, it really is. So Proposition 2 passed, and that means that Alaskans can finally get the cannabis they deserve, and they won't have to deal with moldy, shitty weed for all of eternity. So, yeah, we get to do what we love now for a living. You know, that's what that means. So,
I knew there was something in Alaska that I would love to do. I'm so excited right now. I just can't explain the feelings that I have. It's awesome. Last night was pretty crazy. We had a pretty good idea of where things were going before we went to sleep, but you don't know until you see the numbers. When you woke up this morning, what did you feel?
To know that it was solidified felt undescribable.
Felt pretty good.
It was. I'm still smiling from that moment now. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Definitely smiling from ear to ear. More than 90% of the state's precincts reporting. Alaskans were narrowly approving ballot measure 2, which would legalize recreational pot for Alaskans 21 and older.
That's it.
Yep.
So we worked so hard this last year. We won, and it's awesome because it's like my sports teams never win the championship, and now I get the feeling of winning, and it's my own success, my own winning.
Is that marijuana you guys are hanging up over there? Or? No? No? Okay.
A different kind of reef.
Different kind of reef.
Hello.
Hey, Dad. How's it going?
Good. How's it going with you?
It's going great. Hear the news?
Yeah, it's great, huh?
It's pretty good. We're now businessmen, not criminals.
All right.
Yeah, it's been an exciting morning for us. All the text messaging and all the news and all the,
Did you think it was going to pass, or did you have any feelings about one way or the other?
I thought it might pass. The movement is gaining momentum.
Yeah.
Sure. I know there's a little bit of relief in my dad's voice. I think he's pretty happy for us, and now he can really even brag about his son even more, I think, than he probably would have before.
We just wanted to give you a call and let you know that we have jobs now, and you guys can be happy about that.
Yeah.
Well, the boys are, they actually got a job now. Yeah, that's great.
Cool, Dad. Well, hey, good to hear from you.
All right. Well, you guys better get to work.
Yeah.
We're meeting with Cannabis Now magazine. Dave, I believe he's the editor for Cannabis Now, and he's going to interview us. He's going to field some questions about what we plan on doing next. Here, why don't you dial his number? Oh. You got that on camera, right? Yeah. Sweet.
I think the interview will be great for my brother and I's business. National press is good. We haven't really had any of that yet, so that would be the first. We've had the local paper, and now we need the national press. We're hoping that maybe this will produce some leads and maybe some contacts, some people getting a hold of us, trying to work with us as well.
So on behalf of the Cannabis Now magazine team, I want to say congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you. You guys, you guys are the press, definitely helped, so much. So you guys helped us out, probably more so. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. So it's a really big deal for Alaska, along with DC and Oregon, of course.
Right.
What was your involvement in the campaign?
Well, what we've been doing is we've been loud in the community. So we never really got involved too politically, but what we've been doing with the community, we feel like was like a huge voice to be heard.
We also did an interview with the Juneau Empire, which is our local newspaper here, and that might have helped a little bit. Maybe some people were in the dark a little bit about the type of people that would be supplying cannabis to their community, and there might have been some fears about that, so we feel like our story in the newspaper really helped that issue a lot.
To put a face to the names that they're reading about. You guys look like really upstanding, normal guys.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
I think, James, you had told me that you guys are from Minnesota.
Yep. Oh, yeah, you betcha.
So you grew up as farmers and generations of farmers there?
Small farm, yeah, we're farm kids. Small organic farm, certified organic, so our parents had some values there when building their farm. I think just wandering around the farm all day and playing with all of our dad's equipment and tools and stepping on nails all day, and just we didn't realize how much we really picked up until we started doing this,
Mm-hmm. Sure, it's in your DNA and osmosis and values.
Absolutely.
Passed on to you.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you know much about your competition? I would imagine there are probably other people on a similar track like you guys.
Sure.
Are you in like co-op, or do you communicate with them in any way?
Somewhat. It is a small town, so we do hear what other people are doing. We try to be as open with others in the community as we can. Some people go under the radar. We're not really too worried about competition. We really feel like there's plenty of cannabis for everyone. The interview is going great. He's got some good questions. He's keeping it pretty simple. It seems that there's not a lot that people really know about Alaska, so we're kind of cluing him in a little bit about that.
Our advantage is what Giano said was we feel like we'll be able to provide the quality and also like the infrastructure that will work best with our community, and that's really our goal.
Great. So, is there anything you'd like to say to the Cannabis Now magazine readers? Any kind of parting shot?
Yeah, come to Alaska. Come visit us. Say hi. If you've always wanted to come to Alaska, now's your chance.
Yeah, come see Juno with a whole new fresh perspective. We've got everything up here that you need, including the cannabis now. So that we got that part covered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interview is awesome because we get to share with the world the climate of Alaska in the industry, and also we get to set forth some of the ideas that we have about how we want to see it. So it's pretty awesome to have that connection right now.
So it feels good to be intimately involved with a movement like that. It's definitely very rewarding, and I guess that's kind of what happens when you do follow your heart. You really get these kind of things happening. So you think in that building, in the state office building right there, do you think they're all like running around like marijuana's legal? We got a lot of work to do. They're getting ready for us in there right now.
So yeah. So this is sweet because now here we are. We've got our house over on that side, and then we have the governor's mansion to contemplate things. 5-minute walking commute down this block. And then we have the state office building for any needs for paperwork there, whatever we have to do with them. And then we're going to go down the street. We'll have the Capitol building to make more connections. So pretty much our playground is all right here.
It's a relief, and we know that all of our work wasn't for nothing. We're going to enjoy that, and we're going to ride this little high we're on. But we also know that there's in the back of our mind there's this, okay, we have to actually do this now.
We won. Essentially, we won. So now it's game day. It's day one of the next season for our next what's the next thing?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time worrying about what I would do when I was older. I'm sure everybody does, but I mean, up until the last couple of years, it was like, maybe this is it. It felt good today to just kind of be like, okay. New can of worms to open now. You know what I mean? It refreshes the slate, and we get to now tackle something, in a different way. I feel like, we've been sitting on our desk pooping around long enough. We have everything written out. Now the time is to get up off our ass, and it's time to get growing.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of work.
Sure.
Try to come up with some things to separate yourself from what we're doing. For me, I'm going to be playing guitar is one big thing. Meditation, those are two creative outputs for me. We're excited. All we have to do now, we just get to pursue our dreams. We're just gonna make everything happen here. It's time to grow. Get growing Alaska.
Sounds good, man. Excellent.
You got this.